police were called and they took me.
LIEnette's own stepdaughters have come out publicly to talk about what life was like with her.
He is sharing his life. That's not for anybody to discredit or say, you can't do that. It's his life. He can do whatever he wants. 100%.
I agree. It's interesting to me to watch the criticism.
That's LIEnette's stepdaughter talking about me being the journalist and filming my life. Keep in mind, it was LIEnette who stalked me, John CROOK who stalked me, and they wanted to intersect in my life for money, promotion, free labor, all of which they've got nothing. And now they're upset to the point of trying to extort me. And the stepdaughter, she says, listen, it's Jeremy's life. All of this, all of it, could have never happened if we were never stalked, if she never tried to extort, if LIEnette and CROOK never broke the law. But they did.
And it's just, I haven't seen any of it that has rung true at all. I've listened, I've heard what people sent me, I watched their little videos that they made, and there's just nothing there except some jealousy and resentment that someone else is successful. And I think that has a lot to do with the some of the hatred directed towards him, and that's unfortunate. But right. It's interesting, and I'm so happy that you've connected with him and that you're corroborating what he's been saying, because I'm sure he feels like he's in a horror movie.
Horror is an understatement, because we never in a million years thought that the Crypt Keeper would be living across the street from us. Understand that this is a stepdaughter, and another stepdaughter is going to jump in on this stream as well, being interviewed and publicly sharing their story with Megan Fox and Tug, that umbrella guy, who have given us permission to then share this as well on our platform.
And like he's in the Twilight Zone where everything he's saying he knows is true, and everyone around him, no one is believing him, and that's a really bad place to be. It's a really bad spot to be in.
Right.
So I'm thrilled that this is getting more of a wider audience, and people are paying attention, and now people are paying attention to you and what you've been through. And I hope that it's mostly positive. I hope that the responses that you're getting are mostly positive. I noticed there was that moment during your second video where LIEnette had sent people to your stream, or she was there, and you just kept going. And that was so amazing to me that you could do that. And you called it out. You said, she's still stalking me. And here we have Jeremy saying she's stalking me. And there's like evidence everywhere of it. She's stalking you, stalking him. This is like obviously a pattern, right?
Yeah.
We can look at all the evidence and all the information, and we can formulate an opinion. My opinion, she's utilized children for money, exploiting them for money instead of doing real, honest, good work. And then stalked us because she wanted money, because she's seen us work hard and then give from what we have generated. This isn't going to end here. This is the pattern of not just the past year, not just the past 5 years. Her life pattern is stalking. Her life pattern is scamming, conning, trying to get money any way she can without actually doing work. And let's be honest as well, her life pattern is attention. She doesn't care if it's positive or negative. She puts herself up on the pole and she strips because she wants the attention. She's claiming to a judge, I don't want to be on camera, even though we have all the text. We have all the evidence stating that she wanted us to promote her. She's being promoted all over the world, and she loves it.
Well, go ahead.
I had a question with the documentation. It mentioned 22-year-old man, and it said that she gives her attention or affection, to other men, not her kids, like yourself. Do you think you see that in the current situation too?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's never about the kids, because especially, well, even her biological kids, it was always about money. We were just a meal ticket. I mean, especially me, because she got money for having me.
Yeah, that statement of $450, that rung. I was like, good Lord, man. When an outside observer actually says that they had the audacity to say that around someone else, that's so horrible.
What's being referred to is LIEnette stating that the money she gets for having this stepdaughter, and that's all she cared about. And all she cared was she was going to lose the money if the stepdaughter wasn't there. That's how evil this woman is. How in the world anyone in their right mind could send her money for legal fees, could send her money for anything. She's using people. I don't even want to say the word. It's horrific. And then she has the audacity to go before a judge and go, he's making money off of me. Clarify, I've never made any money off of LIEnette whatsoever. I make money off of me, the hard work I do in my life. And this woman has used so many people, and now she has a problem that somebody is exposing her life patterns. Do you think she's regretting yet stalking us, regretting moving from Northport to Otter Creek, where nobody moves to unless you're trying to hide in the middle of the woods?
Yeah.
That was pretty shocking. Did you ever witness any drug use during your time with her? Either by, I know the report said that her boyfriend at the time was smoking marijuana. Was there anything else going on that you witnessed?
Not that I witnessed. It was, as far as I know, it was just him smoking marijuana.
It's very, I just can't even imagine what it feels like to have lived through this. And then one day this is just blown up, and now everyone is talking about your life. You know, everyone's talking about this woman that was like your, was this you called her your step monster. That has to feel a little surreal. How are you? Is it hard for you? Are you watching? Are you following the news coverage that's going on, or is that difficult?
I watch when I can. Sorry, the $400 hit me.
Yeah.
Just realizing that that's what I was worth to her for all those years. Just sucks. But yeah, I try to watch as much as I can. I like I said, I work a lot, so by the time I get home, I gotta cook dinner for the kids, and by that time I am so mentally and physically exhausted that I can't even think about anything else. But yeah, I watch when I can, and I try to keep up with most of it, but it's hard. It's hard to watch a lot of it.
We've had a Samantha ad as well. I'm going to add her in.
Stepdaughter 2 is now coming in on the scene. Now, to put this story in proper perspective, these two ladies are sisters with the same mom but different dads. And then LIEnette comes in and marries not just one father, both fathers. Remember, LIEnette has been married and divorced 7 times. So both of these girls, LIEnette has married both of their fathers. And you're thinking, how in the world could this happen? Is this real? Yes, this is real. And LIEnette is a real manipulator, a real con artist.
Hello, Samantha. You're muted, by the way.
You just have to click the little... There you
Hello.
go.
Hello,
Hi.
we can hear you.
Hi. Hi, sister.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine. Thank you for being here.
Okay.
What can you tell us about your experience with LIEnette and this situation?
Oh, sorry. I've got like 2 different things going on here. Hold on.
You're fine. I hear kids say, man, we all live that experience. So we're right there.
Like a third hip, okay? You're just going to hear it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. When I mute out a little bit, that's me. I've got a 4-year-old that
I don't know how to
you're
do
good.
all that, but
You're totally good. No, you're good. You're fine.
well, was Ashley still talking? I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt her.
No,
You're fine.
No, you popped in at just a great time. It's interesting to hear from another perspective too, as you've been, I guess, a witness to some of this, and it would be interesting and helpful to hear how you saw it.
Yeah. So my dad was married to Lacey for about 10 years.
Lacey is LIEnette, and LIEnette is Lacey. Now, Lacey, or LIEnette, has tried to claim online and in court that her name is Michelle. Her name is not Michelle. Her name is LIEnette. We call her LIEnette because all she does is lies. So much so, we could probably gather it all up in a net with them all overflowing. She's named herself Lacey. Her entire family only knows her as Lacey, not Michelle, not her name. Because what she does is she scams and she cons and then she runs and then she changes her name. So LIEnette, Michelle, Lacey, Alexis, and the list goes on and on and on. All the same person, LIEnette.
From the time I was, I think, 18 months up until about 5th grade. So what's that, like 11 or so? And I mean, she was a stripper. Obviously, we all know that. And she drank a lot. And so the fighting in the house was often. I mean, my dad was gone. Yes, Mila, I'm sorry. My dad was gone working a lot. So when she was home, it was just really chaotic. And when she was home alone, it was really chaotic. When he got home, it usually calmed down after they had their big blowout of some sort, whatever that may be. But I mean, constantly she's throwing things across the room and screaming. I mean, screaming is like her second nature, first nature. I don't know. She just screams. But I didn't personally have any physical abuse from her because I'm assuming it was because I was the baby out of the family, because I lived with, it was me and then Lindsay, her biological daughter, and then my brother, Tommy, and then Michelle, her oldest daughter. And I was the baby out of the family. So I didn't really get too much of the physical abuse. It was more a manipulation type thing. So being that my dad got with her when I was so young, I saw her as my mom. I mean, that's all I knew at that point. I mean, I didn't know anybody else as my mom. So, throughout the years, it was chaotic, of course, like I said. But then when it came time for when my dad decided he wanted to divorce, and I couldn't see her all the time. Of course, I was like, devastated, but it was for a good cause. Now I see that. But she still continued to try to sneak around and see me through, like if I went to my friend's house, she would contact them and say, meet me up the street. Or she would drive up and down our street and see if I was outside. Like she would just basically stalking like she does now. Well, I mean, let's be honest. But at the point in time, I didn't see anything wrong with it. So I just continued to do it and keep a secret from my dad that way. But I mean, now I feel like, why the heck was I doing that? I was dumb. Like, she's crazy.
The innocence of a child doesn't know when they're being manipulated, being taken advantage of, being lied to, or to break a law. But as you look back on things as an adult, all of a sudden, you see it for what it really was. She is crazy.
So she did all that, and then my dad found out that she was sneaking around trying to see me, And so he basically told me, like, you are not to see her anymore. You cannot, she is not allowed to be by you. You know, she can't talk to you. She can't see you. She can't, nothing. And I kind of was upset about that because I didn't understand at the time. I was a young kid. I mean, I didn't understand the whole aspect of it. But once he did that, it wasn't long after that she got Ashley. And I started hearing, you know, things about what was going on there. And then I was like, wow, this is nuts. Like, what is happening? She not only, so my dad divorced her, which is me and Ashley's mom, you know, me and Ashley's mom. She married my dad. And then my mom married Bill. Ashley's mom married Bill. She went and snuck in there and she married Bill. And then
Lacey snuck in and married my dad, Bill.
First of all, that's nasty. Second of all, anybody else getting the feeling that she was trying to sneak up and try and make me number 8? I've never been to a strip club in my life. And to be clear, I ate turtles. I ate them. I love moles.
Yeah, so Lacey married our mom's, 2 of our mom's husbands, okay? After the fact.
Yeah, I think I'm keeping up. I think I'm keeping up. It's
yeah, so it's kind of like a Jerry
tangled
Springer
web.
show. But, I mean, it's real life though.
Let me clarify something real quick. So you all call her Lacey, which is interesting, and then you said something that really triggered something. You said that her children's names are Michelle, and there was another one,
Lindsay.
Is she using her children's names? Is her name actually Michelle? Does she have are those
her
all
name
the names?
is LIEnette. Her actual given birth name is LIEnette Michelle Alexis.
Lacey Alexis.
But
That's really her given name has all those names, or
no, those are all the names that she acquired over the years. Her actual birth name, I believe, was LIEnette Michelle, and then she tacked on all of those others.
Okay, all right.
And then she named her daughter Michelle, and then used her daughter's name. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. If she,
and then you just put on like 17,000 different last names, and then you got it.
I know you can't believe it's real, but it is.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then so when Lacey took Ashley away from Ashley's dad, where were you?
I was with my dad the whole time. I mean, there was a couple times where, there was one time where Lacey convinced me to say that my dad hit me, so that I could go with her, but it didn't work out that way. So she told me to call the police and say that he hit me, which he didn't. He was scolding me, and then he tapped me in the chest. And when she heard that, he jabbed me in the chest, basically. And so, of course, as a child, I was like going with it because I'm like, yeah, he was being mean to me, you know, like. But I didn't know that he would take it to the extent that she did. So then the police were called, and they took me. And then they were like, well, Tom, where is somewhere she can go? And so then he said, take her to my mom's, which I spent a lot of time at my grandma's. He was like, take her to my mom's. And so I went to my grandma's house, and she was mad because they didn't let me go with her. And then when I was at my grandma's, I told my grandma, I was like, hey, this didn't, like, he didn't hurt me. It was just, you know, it was literally, he was just mad. And we were having like an argument, and I was probably, I don't know, 13 at the time. And I said, I just really want to go home. And so the next day we contacted the people, and they were like, you know, that's fine. She can go back home if she feels safe or whatever. So I went home, and she was just ticked off that they didn't let her take me, which is probably what she was trying to do, because she was going to try to keep me, which thankfully that didn't happen. But I mean, that's just one of the things, like, it's just that manipulation part of her. Like, she just takes things and she turns it into something it's completely not. And then, I mean, she's accused how many people of sexually abusing someone, like personally, Megan, or what is it, Tug, Megan or Tug? How many people do you personally know that has been convicted of sexually abusing someone that's not involved in your work?
The intent in this question is to show that LIEnette is not normal, that she accuses everybody in her life. Thus far, 10 at a bare minimum, me, number 11, of doing this horrific thing. And most people in their life know maybe one person, but apparently everybody in LIEnette's life ends up doing this somehow, some way, proving LIEnette is a problem and a pathological liar.
Oh, no one.
Okay. Not involved in work.
Not involved in my work. Yeah, I know
you guys are both either in, therapy or journalism.
Right.
So
the ones who are involved, there's plenty involved in the work, but very few. I don't have any in my personal life that I know of. Convicted? No.
No, I don't.
So
I don't have any.
Convicted. Okay, I should say convicted or accused of, because I guess all the ones that she has said haven't been convicted of it. I don't even know if any of them have. Well, I'm sorry, one of them have. Our mother, I guess. That was the whole thing.
I know one person who was accused falsely of a essay that never went anywhere. He wasn't convicted. One person in my personal life. Yeah. Just one.
Yeah, and she claims that, I don't know, I could probably say at least 10 people that she said has done something to somebody. Like, that's her go-to. It's her way of getting what she wants, and it's really sickening to me.
Silverman doesn't understand he's next. He will be next on her list. He's the man that she will target if she doesn't get exactly what she wants. She wants a permanent protection order. She wants all my money. She wants promotion. She wants to win. And when she doesn't, because all the evidence is stacked against her, she's going to then accuse him and attack him as well. You can't fault him. He didn't know all of this before jumping onto this. And he does know now. Makes you wonder why he hasn't jumped out yet.
Where'd Ashley go?
I don't know. I think she just dropped out. I don't know if her phone went dead or if...
I see her back in again. Here you go. Sorry.
Okay.
Actually, I was about to call you.
No, sometimes when it hiccups like that, I get a little bell that comes on. It says ding, and I pay attention. But if someone drops, I don't, like, we're just talking like this. Sometimes I'm not looking straight at it, so I don't hear it.
What about you, Tug? Do you know personally?
Yeah, I've known a couple. I've known falsely accused, and there are a couple. But I mean, 10. Lord, that go-to. Here's the question: does the go-to work every time?
Sorry, there's a bunch of noise going on all of a sudden. Okay. All of you.
Sorry, go ahead.
Not you guys then. Children.
Yeah, I was just wondering. You said 10 people. That she's accused. Has that worked for her almost every time now?
It works for her. For that, like through them, I wouldn't say that she's actually reported them, but she threatens them. And because she is her, they know that she is a very manipulative person, and she will cause harm in their life. So people will do what she wants because she says, oh, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to tell CPS that you did this. And they literally will back off because they know that she is a very manipulative person. And I don't know where the hell she pulls out all of this crap. She makes it believable. And so people get scared. They're like, I didn't do anything, but, and I'm not saying that none of them have done anything.
Sure.
And I'm not talking about Ashley's dad or my dad. I'm talking about other people that have been in her life. I'm not saying they haven't done anything, but she will use it to get what she wants.
Well, this is a pattern.
She tried it with my dad. It didn't work.
This is a pattern that another pattern of hers, because she's, you know, accused Jeremy of things that he has not done.
Exactly. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, definitely. No doubt.
Here's another crazy, scary part. We're in a town of 100. She can run her mouth off about anybody, any neighbor, any resident is under attack by this woman right now. She hates Russ the Sus when she comes in. She hates Stuart as she comes in. She hates Don the Con, Mary. She hates them all. And now she's best buddies with that little corrupt group until they don't do what she wants. And then it's going to be the exact same thing. She's going to make verbal attacks on them saying they've done these horrendous things to children. They're next. Whether they realize it or not, they're next. She can attack the entire town and try and destroy their reputations, which is why we have to put and nix this in the legal system, in the court system. We have to make this be done forever. She can't destroy people any longer, anymore.
Yeah, his new lawsuit says that he's accusing her of extortion, which is what it sounds like. This is like a pattern for her to use threats of something, you know, to come after you if you don't give her way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What
she does. I mean,
terrible way to live.
She will literally tell them that directly. Like, if like Ashley's dad, she framed him. She didn't. And it wasn't just, I'm going to get you for child support. It was, I'm going to tell them that you did this to my daughter, or you did. It was more than that. It was not just, I'm going to get you for child support. It was, I'm going to tell them that you did this to my daughter. And then, of course, he's like, well, I have a business. I have a life. Like, I'm not trying to get, you know, accused of this. And then what? Like, I mean, it's hard. It's a hard balance, I think, to decide if you want to live the rest of your life as that label, or do you want to, like, I don't know. I guess I don't know what it would be like to be in that situation, to be honest.
I'll let you know what it's like to be in the situation, to live in a culture, in a world that empowers women to make false accusations against men. Now, real accusations have to be dealt with, and they're horrendous as well. But if a woman is going to make false allegations against a man, and it's proven that it's false, frankly, I think that woman should be under the same consequences that that man would have been under, because we live in a culture that wants to empower women to actually destroy men's lives. We want men out of the family. We want men out of the children's lives. How in the world can a man survive in this world? What happened in a course correction? This is not what God wanted or designed. He designed the family unit for man and woman to be equal together to raise children with love and trust.
Mommy.
Has she ever tried to come after either one of you with accusations or retaliation in any way?
She doesn't have the balls to come after me. Plain and simple. She does not have the balls to come after me.
I have plenty of screenshots, text messages of her threats to go after these two. Now, whether those threats are real or whether they're empty, that's up for debate. Remember, she for over a year was saying she had a lawyer, she was going after me, all empty threats, until she finally got a civil protection order against herself. And then she's begging everybody, please give me money so I can get a lawyer. So she was lying for over a year that she had a lawyer, that she was going after me. Empty threat. Now she's begging and pleading for a lawyer because she knows she's in trouble. If she wasn't in trouble, if she didn't do anything wrong, why all of a sudden does she need a lawyer when she's the one in Florida courts bringing the injunction up? Why all of a sudden? Oh, that's right, because she knows what she's done and she's going to be held accountable for it.
No, so me and her, the last conversation I had with her, she really pissed me off, like really pissed me off. And it was in her message, it was like, this person's a, and finally I said, you know, it's so weird that somebody, one individual, can know about all of these people that are supposedly molesters. I said, so are you sure you're not the molester? And she lost her shit on me. And I was like, wow, that's crazy that you got so defensive. I'm like, so is it you then? Are you the one that's doing it and you're just blaming it on other people? Or are you just making this up because you know it raises red flags for CPS and you know that they have to investigate it and it's going to be like a whole ordeal? She like cussed me out.
Well, and that's the other thing. That's the other thing that gets me is the things that she comes up with that people are supposedly doing to their kids or to other people's kids is so unbelievably, ungodly, disgusting
like
that
off the wall.
I don't know. Her brain just lives somewhere very dark for her to be able to think of things like that. Like, it's gross. So why does her brain live in that, you know, like, why is that the first thing that she thinks of when she wants to get at somebody? Like, what joy does it give her to accuse somebody of that disgusting shit? Like, I don't understand it.
She explained it all to us in court. That's how her brain works.
It comes from her mother, to be honest.
Her mother, I heard you talk about her mother, Ashley, in your video. You said that she came from an abusive background. What do you mean it came from her mother?
Her mother was an abusive parent, and she also had been diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy, as well as Lacey had been diagnosed with that. We haven't yet found the records, but we're looking for them. But she has been diagnosed with that. And her mom had numerous times tried to take all four of us, as in me, Lindsay, my brother Tommy, and Michelle, from my dad and Lacey. Her mom tried to take us numerous times. She didn't succeed, obviously, but it was all crazy stuff. Like they were hanging us from our ankles from the door, and they were putting us in the closet, and they were, I mean, just ridiculous things that, like, who would even say that? Yes, ma'am. Go have Daddy fix that, please. Thank you. Just ridiculous accusations that, like, okay, if you're hanging someone from a door, obviously their blood's going to go all the way to their head, and there's going to be issues. Okay, it's not just you're hanging them from the door. So her mom did that numerous times, which brings me to the next thing, because I was talking to my dad recently about all of this, because he's kind of entertained by it as well, because Lacey's being attacked, obviously.
I understand the intent of what she's saying, but I need to take the time to actually clarify. Lacey, or LIEnette, has never been attacked physically or any other way by us. What she's been is exposed for all that she has said, all that she's done, her actions, her words, which have not been covered by constitutionally protected speech. What we have done is covered by constitutionally protected speech.
Anyway, I was talking to him about it, and he said that when I would have been like 4 or 5 years old, I believe. Him and Lacey decided to take a little like couples vacation, kind of get away from the kids type thing. And Lacey's mom, Marcia, sorry, I can't, I had to like emphasize her name, Marcia, because she's just, anyway. Anyway, Marcia said, oh, sure, I'll take the kids for you. So she did, but then she didn't want to give the kids back. So they went on their little, couples vacation to get away, and then went to go get the kids. And she had us, my dad said she had us hidden in an underground organization. And I was like, what does that mean? And he goes, there was literally an organization that Marcia was involved in that had children that had been taken from their parents, and they were hidden in this underground organization. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's like trafficking. And he's like, no, it wasn't trafficking.
Was it yours?
And so I was like, are you sure that's not what it was? Because then I started worrying, of course. But so of course I started worrying. I'm like, who's watching us down there? What's going on down there? The questions start going in my head. And he's like, no, it's not. It wasn't like that. It was like they were just trying to get kids from their parents, basically, for whatever reason. I don't know. But he said that she literally said, Mila, hey, turn that down. But he literally said it was an underground organization. So anyway, they got us back eventually. I think he said it was like 2 weeks they had to fight the courts to make Marcia give us back to them, which she still refused. And basically they said, you go get those kids right now or you're going to jail, basically. And so she went and got us and brought us back. And I was like, are you sure it wasn't at her house? And he said, no, it wasn't at her house, because we had been there and tried to get you guys, and you guys weren't there. And I'm like, I'm still thinking about it, honestly. I'm just still like, an underground organization, this freaks me out, okay? I don't like it. So her mom's a nut job, and yeah, that's where she gets it from, is her mother. And her sister is a pastor's wife, and she's not any better. So
I was about to say she's not any better.
Her sister one-upped her. LIEnette's an ordained minister, but her sister went out and married an ordained minister. Something's running in the family here.
I just want to let you guys know, and Jeremy, and really everybody, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the love and support that I have gotten. It is, and this is not saying anything bad about mine and Samantha's mom. I love our mom more than anything, but she wasn't there for my whole life. So not only having, granted, these are people that I've never met before in my life ever, but seeing how many people are sending me love and saying they believe me and they love me and they're here for me, like, that is huge for me. To know that I actually have people that are listening to what I went through, and knowing that, that I'm not just blowing smoke out of my ass, that I legit went through all of this, and it is very traumatizing, reliving all of it. And the fact that it took me a long time to get to the point where I'm at, to be able to share everything that I went through, just to have everybody just saying, we love you, we support you, we believe you. That is huge for me. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone, for that.
We only wish we could have been there sooner to help, to show love and to nurture and care, because these ladies, they matter.
We do believe you, and I know that I
For
will
sure.
be here if you do need anything. Please stay in touch. I know Tug is here for you as well.
Mhm.
If there is any retaliation, please do let us know, and we will make sure that that doesn't get done in the darkness.
That was one thing that I was worried about for Ashley is retaliation, because obviously Lacey's not going to be happy if something goes the opposite of what she wants it to, whether she gets Harley taken from her or she loses this court battle or whatever it is. If Ashley helps in any way, shape, or form in the legal system, documented, she's not going to be happy. And I kind of talked her into some things, and I just want to make sure that people are behind her, because she did go through a lot. When I read that freaking report, oh my God, I wanted to drive to Florida myself and go toe to toe with that freaking bitch. If I would have known that all of this was happening, I mean, I was an adult by the time Ashley was 13, 14 years old. I would have been there. Like, I didn't know that all of this was happening, and I just felt horrible. And like, she could have come and lived with me. I would have been like, let's go. We're leaving. But I mean, it's just like, it's unbelievable. And I don't want Ashley to feel uncomfortable or scared or worried that Lacey's going to come after her and her children, because she's a great mom and she has overcome so much. And I just want people to realize that, like, no matter, the jokes that go along with it, the LIEnette and the this and that, like, she's a literal freaking evil witch. Like, she's nothing that you've probably ever come across, and it is real life. And yeah, so I do thank Jeremy and George for exposing her, because obviously they had the means to do that. We don't really have the means to do that. We've told people about it, but I mean, what are they going to do? Nothing. So, but I also do want to say, I've seen more than once, and now about my dad and Ashley's dad, and people are saying, sounds like a great dad, because they did this or that. Well, Lacey is a manipulator. She is very good at it. And I don't blame my dad one bit for staying with Lacey as long as he did. He was in the military. He was gone half of the time. Ashley's dad didn't stay as long as my dad, but his decisions were based on the manipulation, and I don't blame him for the decisions he made either, and I'm sure Ashley doesn't. And Ashley and her dad have a great relationship, and me and my dad have a great relationship. So let's keep the dad bashing to a minimum, please.
I agree with that. We're not blaming anybody for being, another victim in this. And that's the way you have to view the dads in this case as well, because we know that what she's, we've seen what she's capable of, and we're not going to be blaming other victims either. So,
right. Because not only was Ashley a victim, her dad was a victim of her too. And
I think Lacey still views me as that scared little girl, and I hope that this gets back to her, because maybe she'll realize that I am not that terrified little girl that she used to beat and abuse and yell at and scream at all day. I am a grown woman. I can think for myself, and I will protect myself and my children at all costs. So she needs to learn that lesson real quick.
Well, that is an excellent message.
We do. We appreciate everything from Jeremy to George to the DUI guy to Megan and Tug. It's great. You guys are exposing someone that has been like just skating through the system for years and years and years, and it has been sickening. And you guys are like blasting her all over, and I just sit back with popcorn like, this is amazing. It is.
I bet it feels really good to see, you know, some vindication and like, oh my God, other people see it too.
Yeah.
I just hope she's shitting herself right now. That's all. I just hope she's shit pants.
She should be. I mean, she's, you know.
Well, she's shitting a bucket. We know that for sure.
No bucket's going to save LIEnette from the horrific, horrible things she's done in the past, what she's currently doing in the present, and we'll do everything we can with Ashley, with Samantha, to make sure she doesn't do anything else to anyone else in the future.